Okay, so before we start, can you just tell my lovely viewers what you just said?
Ray makes a lovely cup of matcha, no lumps, amazing.
I think the words were better than
Oh yes,
Starbucks.
better than Starbucks.
Hello everybody, I'm back from Istanbul, which I think I've said about 3 times today because I'm just making videos now to catch up. And I haven't even bothered changing my clothes, so I should have probably put a jumper on so that, it looks like I'm filming on different days, but that's the level of effort we get around here. I thought I'd just do a little bit of a video to show you what books I bought while I was in Turkey. Yes, there were lots of lovely, lovely bookshops, which I believe the word for bookshop in Turkish is kitapbevi. That's pretty much the first word I learned. Yeah, I went to lots of lovely bookshops when I was there. There were markets as well, the book bazaar. I think I was probably supposed to haggle, but I didn't. So yeah, this has been a bit of a problem. And we had to upgrade my luggage on the way back because I bought too many books. Guess how many kilograms, without looking at the books, how many kilograms my suitcase was on the way back? Do you want to guess?
4 kilos over.
Well, how many kilos was the suitcase?
Oh, altogether?
Yeah, altogether.
28.
Higher.
32.
It was a 32 kilogram suitcase by the way back, which was an absolute nightmare to lug. So I would just like to say thank you very much to my friend Danny for helping me get these home. Mwah! If she is indeed watching right now. So the first books I bought were just a few little, because whenever I go to a new city, I like to have the guides, because they have big beautiful pictures and it's like a souvenir guide, and I couldn't decide whether to get this one or this one. So yeah, we start off with, actually this one's called Istanbul, Byzantine and Ottoman Artifacts. So I think this one might actually be a little bit more tailored than I thought it was, but I was just looking through and there is so many gorgeous, gorgeous pictures of the Topkapi Palace and the Hagia Sophia, and it was just absolutely incredible. I've never been anywhere like it in my life. It was stunning. So just to have those memories there and to be able to look through at the beautiful patterns, the beautiful architecture is such a privilege. So yeah, so that one will be lovely to look through later and pretend I'm still there because, I'm pining. And then this one I think is a more general guide to the city. Again, lots of beautiful, beautiful pictures. And yeah, I mean, honestly, the place is stunning and I could just talk about it for hours, but I'm not going to because, well, I've already talked to my family and friends through it many, many times. So yeah, that was my other ones. And I also found this, Turkish tiles, and I just spent some time again in the palace and there were so many gorgeous, beautiful tiles, and I just want to tile this whole place. Like, I actually managed to get home without buying any carpets, despite some temptations and some excellent tactics from the from the shops. But yeah, alas, I do not have a carpet, and I'm actually regretting not having one sent back because I think this room would really be livened up. Maybe with a blue one, just in the middle. What do you think, Ju?
Mm-hmm.
Blue one, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Do you think it would look great? Go with the kind of millennial grey theme I've got going on. Anyway, this one's beautiful Turkish tiles, just in greater detail. So, everything's so beautiful over there, and I'm looking forward to having a read through that one as well. These are notebooks. It wouldn't be a trip to somewhere new if I didn't come back with at least a couple of notebooks. So yes, that was the first things I bought. Then we went to Galata, which is an area kind of we were staying in Sultanahmet, which is where the Blue Mosque and the Hagia Sophia are, kind of one of the most popular areas to visit. And if you cross over the Bosporus, you get to Galata, which is where like kind of the shopping district, a lot of restaurants. It's where the what's it called? The tower, the Galata Tower. And that was where the bookshops were. So naturally, that was where I was badgering my friends to take me, and they were not quite as interested in the book shopping as I was. We did try to visit the book bazaar before then, but by the time we managed to get up the hill and find it, it was closed. So here we have a photograph of me looking very, very sad, having arrived too late to purchase books. Oh, woe is me. I did actually make it back there later. So the first place I bought this, which is a second-hand copy of a book which is translated. It's a crime book which I was actually going to buy. Yeah. I don't actually know. It's one of the Pushkin Vertigo books, and it's translated. Is it from the German? I'm not actually sure, but these are ones that come up and are being advertised to me all the time. So I thought, while I am, in a nice second-hand bookshop that has very, very few English books, I thought I would grab this off the shelf. I absolutely love reading translated crime fiction. Like I say, the condition, not so sure about, but that just makes it more rustic feeling, doesn't it? I still can't find out exactly what this is translated from. Zurich, so Swedish. Do like a bit of Scandinavian crime. The Execution of Justice. Also, there were some really cute cats in that bookshop. There was this guy. And there was this guy. And yeah. Aren't they cute? So cute. Anyway, next, so I walked along and there was another bookshop, and I kind of figured I wanted to buy a book from each bookshop I visited, because that's just it'll be rude not to. But this bookshop was mainly about art, architecture. There was a lot of non-fiction titles, and most of them were absolutely enormous. So I bought this, which is from a series that I'm already reading. I read the Georgia O'Keeffe book. It's the Thames and Hudson World of Art series, and this one is Islamic Art and Architecture. So again, absolutely loads of pictures and details about the history of art. If any of you have been following the channel, you will know that I absolutely love reading about the history of art, and that it's a bit of an ongoing project for me. So having recently read The Story of Art, The Story of Art Without Men, I've got one of these on kind of black art. I read one from Georgia O'Keeffe, who obviously American and very, very popular. I'm currently reading a book called See What You're Missing by Will Gompertz, which is about a lot of different art. And I just find I appreciate art so much more when you've got people enthusing about it to you. So that's what I bought from the next bookshop along. They also had a cat. There were cats everywhere. It was like being in kitty heaven, and most of them were friendly and willing to, to have some fuss. So, and they're so, I'm just such a cat person. It was amazing. The next shop I was in, I bought, it's not here. I don't know where it is. I bought the Museum of Innocence by Orhan Pamuk from the next shop. And while I was in the shop, I looked behind the gentleman that was selling me the book, and I saw this. And you know me, I'm a sucker for a photographer, and apparently Arugula is extremely famous in Turkey. Istanbul photographer, passed away not that long ago, and this is a special edition book. And I just saw this beautiful nocturne of the city sitting behind the owner of the bookshop, and it was actually in shrink wrap. Now, this is like a recreation Ooh. What's that? Is that a book of photography? Can I have a look at the book of photography? And then as soon as someone's taken something out of the shrink wrap, you kind of have to buy it. That's kind of the rules, isn't it? Like if they've taken an expensive book out of its just so you can take a look at it, like that's what I'm going to keep telling myself anyway. But anyway, so Arabula is a very famous Turkish photographer, and particularly famous for photographing Istanbul. And I was just wowed having a proper look through those soon, and I will, like I did with Franco Fontana's work when I visited Italy, I will hopefully be doing a video to update you on my thoughts after I've read through this. I did also find this in the shop down the road, which is a more Istanbul specific one. But okay, now bear with me. Have I just bought 2 books by the same photographer that I only found out about 20 minutes before? But this one's actually a lot about the actual city itself. So I was like, oh, this one's got more Istanbul pictures in it. And obviously, being massively in love with the city, as I got this as well. So lots of Arabula. There's a street down the road from the bookshop which is actually named after him. So, which was what the gentleman in the shop told me. So we found that. I also got from Homer Kitabevi, which was where I got the second one from. I got Monday to Sunday in Istanbul, which again is a travel guide, lots of pictures and little interviews with people. And yeah, I think we've done most of the good stuff. We went to most of the good places, so it's going to be more of a souvenir as well. But yeah, that looks like a great series. And apparently this is a series of books, so next time I go on holiday I might pre-game the holiday. Is that a phrase? That's not a phrase. But yeah, and I also got another of Turkey's extremely famous authors, Elif Shafak. This is her latest book, There Are Rivers in the Sky. Was I ever going to come back without this book? No, I was not. But yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous, and yeah, very well renowned, very, very famous writer. All of her books have very intriguing blurbs. So yeah, I was very excited to pick up a copy of that as well. And finally, before I left the city, I did in fact go back to the book bazaar, and this time it was open. I went on my own. There were many cats. And yeah, I got a few more. So I got another Orhan Pamuk. This is his first book, and I like the cover. As you'll know if you know me, anything that's a nocturne, this kind of aesthetic appeals to me. And also with it being his debut, it's always good to start at the beginning. So I've actually got a couple more of his books which I already owned. Now I have no idea which one of them to read first. If you're a fan of Pamuk, where would you start? Would you start with My Name is Red? Would you start with Museum of Innocence? Would you start with his debut? Would you start with Istanbul Memories in the City, which I also got? Where do I start? I'm actually pretty tempted to read this one while Istanbul's still fresh in my mind. I want to know what it's like actually living there, growing up in the city, if indeed it's about growing up or whether he came there as an adult, I'm not sure. The city of his birth and the home of his imagination. So yeah, this is probably going to be where I start. But My Name is Red is a big one, and there's another one as well. I hope I haven't just carried onto the plane a load of books I already have. That would be embarrassing. Oh, postcard. I bought this copy of Haruki Murakami's Dance, Dance, Dance because I like the cover. I don't think you can get this cover in the UK. I mean, you probably can. I think I might already have this book, but this cover! Look how cool it is. It's this windows. And finally, I bought another Elif Shafak book, And this one I bought based on the blurb because it sounded, well, let me read it to you. So in the first minute following her death, Tequila Layla's consciousness began to ebb slowly and steadily like a tide receding from the shore. Her brain cells, having run out of blood, were now completely deprived of oxygen, but they did not shut down, not right away. So I believe this is kind of like a dying thoughts kind of book, journey through the mind, as it were. So I was just so intrigued by the premise, and obviously Elif Shafak's extremely well renowned. My friend who came with me to Istanbul, hi Danny, she was reading one of Shafak's other books. She said it was something to do with rivers or islands, and I would know it if I saw the cover, but I can't remember off the top of my head what it was called. And it's not this one, it's not Rivers in the Sky. This one was one that was sold to me entirely based on the premise, and I'd be tempted to read this one first. But the trouble is I want to read all of them, and now that I'm back, now that I'm not running around the city enjoying amazing food, meeting great people, and just sitting in the sun stroking cats, I'm going to have some more time for reading. This definitely sounds like a purple book, but it may also have hints of blue and yellow. If any of you have been following the recent exploration by Stephen Rees of what colour types of reader are, it's something that's really captured my imagination. So now every time I see a new book, I'm like, ooh, that looks like a purple one, that looks like a red one. It just really works for me. I hope you enjoyed my little tour of my book haul. We're not going to look at the rest of the room. I had to take like 2 trips from the house. My mum had been collecting parcels from me, and there were quite a lot of books that had been gathered in the time that I was away, but yeah, hopefully I've tidied those away so you can't see them. Catch you all later.